Shalom, call halal Yahweh Bashan Hawashai Bashan Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this is a channel that the Spirit brought me to, and it's called White Silence Kills. And I know that some of you are going to be like, okay, here goes Malcolm again, claiming somebody pale to be their own people, to be our people. But I don't know if she is or isn't. I believe she is, because after watching a couple of her videos, let me just grab that Romans 8 and 6. Let's grab that. Because it's not about whether she's our people or not. That's really not an important point. What's important is what she's saying, but through the Spirit, I think she just might be, because of her spirit. All right? And she's married to a Nigerian who's definitely a Jake. And Esau just don't have a habit of speaking the truth. Esau always steers from the truth and makes excuses. All right, but this is Romans 8 and 16, and it reads, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God." All right, so her spirit, especially in this video that I got listed, the Chauvin trial, was justice really served? Wow, that one. But we're gonna start with this video here, when she says, see if I can bring it in the frame. There it is. White women are jealous of black women. All right, you see where the arrow is. Why white women are jealous of black women? All right, so we're just gonna play, some of this video.
If you've never heard of UPAC, that's
build
okay.
these damn commercials.
We don't spend money on expensive TV commercials or radio jingle.
Jealous of black women, that's
okay. So we'll just let a little bit of it play.
Hello and welcome to another video. I normally don't make English content on my YouTube, but this video was actually inspired by a TikTok friend of mine. Her name is Waffles Only Sis. And she actually asked me to make this video because a TikTok video of mine.
And she was born in Germany. If I'm not mistaken, she's definitely German, because she speaks multiple languages, and German is one of them. And she's married to a Nigerian, so just want to throw that out there. And this particular video isn't the one where she really, her spirit begins to, indicate that she's not an Edomite. All right? It doesn't mean that she's Jake, but she's definitely not an Edomite. And you watch, some of her content, you'll see for yourself. For those of you who are spiritually inclined, because many of you not. Many of you are just, carnal and go by the flesh and don't understand that we've been scattered to all nations, and that our people are gonna come looking like all people.
Viral, and the video was literally all about me stating why many white women, or most white women, are in fact jealous of black women. So as you can maybe guess, I got a lot of hate for the video. A lot of butthurt white people try to make me understand, or try to make me believe that what I'm saying comes from a point of, I'm literally judging myself. I'm saying I am jealous of black women. That's why all white people are jealous of black women, which is definitely not the point. Even if I was...
Are you
Which made it
serious?
into one of the greatest horror movies of all time. And then you find out that
everybody is at one point in their life always jealous of something or of somebody. But that's not the issue. The issue is that what I said comes from historical facts. It's not as if I pulled this out of my thump, and I felt like, let me just put this on TikTok. Actually, the video was like a stitch. I saw a black woman, and she literally said, "Why do y'all hate black women so much?" And before I even go into it, I want to keep this as short as possible this time. Before I even go into it, I want to say that you are only jealous of someone you can never be like. Like if someone is out of your reach, that can be financially, socially, economically, visually, ethnically. It can have so many reasons. If somebody is out of your reach for you, you always react with jealousy, sometimes consciously and sometimes subconsciously. But it's always a point of, I wish I was that person. I wish I had that person's money, car, house, face, body, eyes, ears, character, whatever. Jealousy always comes from a point of not being able to be like the person the person in question. Okay, so I actually wrote some things down because, of course, before I made that video, of course, I did my research. And the thing is, starting, for example, with fashion that was very modern in the 1700s, women used to dress in a way that they used to carry like a pillow. It wasn't technically a pillow, it was like a foam something in their behind to make their butt appear a lot bigger.
And that is so true. That fashion, all right? She just talked about something from the 1700s, all right? They used to wear, like, the bonnet hat. They wore the I believe it's called a corset. They pull their waist in. And then they had this thing under their dress that made it look as if they had really big asses under their dresses, all right? And that's what she's talking about. She's giving you historical reference facts.
Now, if we are looking at the physics of a white woman and the physics of a black woman, of course, always under the prescription, under the thought that not every woman is the same. Even different ethnicities have so many shades, so many skin tones. White isn't white, black isn't black. Other than that, nobody's really black, nobody's really white.
Now you hear that? Nobody's really black and nobody's really white. She put it out there. All right? She's wearing a black top. No one's skin is that color. All right? And that was something that they made up. It was a social construct that they made up. And basically it came fully into fruition in 1681 in Virginia. You can do your own research. In Virginia in 1681 was the first time that it was ever put to paper in any sort of legal documents that you had a new portion of humanity referred to as white people. Prior to that, there was no such thing as white people. They made it up. Just like white superiority is all completely made up. They're red. They're the red people that the Bible speaks of. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. This is Job 13:4, and it reads, "But ye are forgers of lies. You are all physicians of no value." Let's run it back again when she said that.
It wasn't technically a pillow, it was like a foam something in their behind to make their butt appear a lot bigger. Now, if we are looking at the physics of a white woman and the physics of a black woman, of course, always under the prescription, under the thought that not every woman is the same. Even different ethnicities have so many shades, so many skin tones. White isn't white, black isn't black. Other than that, nobody's really black, nobody's really white. I'm speaking from a point that this is common sense. If it isn't to you, please check yourself first before coming for me. That one being said, of course, every woman's...
That was a little of that attitude right there. Check yourself first before coming for me. She just told you that white and black are social constructs that they're made up. She just threw it out there.
Physics or every woman's body shape is different, but there are certain features that are attached to certain ethnicities. And of course, black women are known for having beautiful full lips, very sharp facial features. They're known for their jawline, for their nose bones, for the hips of their nose. Is it called hips of the nose? I guess you know what I mean. The sharp eyebrows. They are known for their hips and the hourglass figure that's absolutely trendy now, that is everywhere.
And the curses also have kicked in because a lot of Jake women don't have bodies like that anymore. Because when I was a kid coming up, when I was in grade school, when I was a shorty, that was common among uh, black women. Now there's a whole lot of black women don't have those curvy bodies like that. Not here in America. All right, there's a lot of them that don't. A lot of them got narrow hips. The shoulders are wider than their hips. Just like the matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick in Isaiah. But what she's saying though is that those curves are something that's known for so-called black women, especially in the past. Uh, see if I can find that. Right. This is Isaiah 3 and 18. It says, and in that day, um, matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 17. It says, therefore the Lord will smite with the scab of the crown of the head the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. So a lot of Negro women can't grow their hair long. You know, they wear all that weave. Their hairlines recede all the way to the tops of their head. Okay, that's a curse that fell upon them. All right, and it says, and then in that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, their cowls, and their round tires like the moon. That's those beautiful asses that was known on so-called black women, was so desirable by the slave masters and the heathen and all the other men, including our the men of our tribes. We all loved it. And what I'm telling you is that collectively they don't have bodies like that anymore. They're actually far few in between. More the heathen are in better shape and than a lot of our own women of the Southern Kingdom. At least the so-called Judite woman, the so-called black woman. We're not talking about the other dark sisters. The West Indies and the Levites and all them. But the Judite women here in America have that issue with their hair and that tie around like the moon, especially here in Chicago. Man, you just go to the hood. The majority of our women look like linebackers. They're 40, 50 pounds overweight, shoulders wider than their hips, no ass whatsoever. Just being honest, just being truthful. And those are curses because the way she's describing our women is the way the majority of them were, especially when I was a kid coming up. That's all I saw. All my school teachers.
Some years back, you will still be bullied if you had a big butt. Now, everybody wants a big butt. And the media have the caucasity to blame this on people like the Kardashians that are literally the human definition of copying black women.
Yeah, it's true. They're the Kardashians. Although, well, anyway, but nevertheless, they are. And there was a whole, and look, and butts were very popular among Israelite men and men of color all along. It was Esau that was selling that over, the whole boob job, no hips, no ass, uh, Pam Anderson type in the 80s. In the 70s and 80s, they were selling that supermodel look. And the supermodel look was even worse than the 70s and 80s models, because at least the 80s models had breasts. That supermodel look in the 90s and early 2000s, the women looked like boys. They were straight up and down, straight from the front, and flat in the back, flat in the front, straight up and down. Most of them look androgynous. You couldn't even tell. All right. Now all of a sudden, because it wasn't just, you got to go back to early days of J Lo um, somebody else is coming to mind, and a couple of other women, that had those cheeks. Nicki Minaj. I mean, people that even before her, so-called Negro women, man. Everybody remembers Thelma from Good Times, which was and she was a lot of Negro women at that around that time looked like her. All right, I witnessed it. I'm older than some of you.
Um,
Damn commercials! Are you kidding me?
it starts not only with the body shape. Is the lip fillers, is the eyebrow lifts. Many of us are getting the face contouring when we are getting injections to make the facial bones sharper that are just not common in our ethnicity. These are things that, of course, there are always exceptions, just like there are black women with small lips, black.
So, for example, they started calling cornrows. The female fighters in the UFC were wearing cornrows, and all of a sudden, cornrows became UFC braids. UFC braids. They can't give Jake any credit for anything that they do, and she talks about that in this video. If you get toward the video, because I'm gonna click on another one in a moment here, but she breaks down how there's this certain bonnet that the so-called Negro women and different women in Africa, which were all in the west coast of Africa, were mostly Israelite women, and they have been wearing this thing, for a very long time. And then she even goes in and talks about how the white race wasn't even around at a certain time; they are newly created. So it makes me wonder if she knows about the story of Jacob and Esau. That's toward the end of this video when she goes into that, and she talks about how and I'm just suggesting you go watch the video for yourself. It's called "Why White Women Are Jealous of Black Women," and her channel was called "White Silence Kills." All right, and she just goes in how white people just can't tell the truth and how they whitewashed history and lied about history and all of that. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to another video. And this is just being done through the spirit. I really hadn't planned anything.
Today's
I just saw these videos and just turned them on and just decided I was just gonna go through the spirit. So this wasn't planned, so Salakia, but here we go.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is the long-awaited Derek Chauvin. Chauvin? Doesn't matter. The trial. You all know what I'm talking about. So, first of all, a disclaimer. Point one, I'm obviously not affected. I am not in the position to state whether this is right and how Black people are supposed to feel, how they are feeling, what it means for them. I'm just stating my personal opinion as a non-Black person, as a white person, as a not of racism affected person. Y'all get the idea, right? So I've read a lot of posts, tweets. I've watched a lot of videos, both on TikToks, YouTube, the last few days. And I over and over and over again read the topic, justice was served. And that's what I really want to talk about. Once again, I'm not saying that whatever statement a Black person makes about this topic should be negated or should be discussed or is invalid or whatever. No. If a Black person thinks that's justice to them, it's not my place to say otherwise. I'm solely talking about my personal opinion. And for me personally, that's not justice.
She's right. This is Colossians 3:25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done, and there is no respect of persons. All right. Galatians 6 and 7 states, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." If they took that Edomite and they took him to a gallows and dropped him through it and let him hang and twist and twerk, and gyrate and die in convulsions, like he's having a seizure, choking to death on the end of a rope before all of his family and everyone to see. That would be justice. All right? That would be justice. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. So I agree with her wholeheartedly.
For me, when I am to define justice, justice will mean that a case like this wouldn't even exist in the first place.
That's right.
Justice will be Black people not fearing for their life when being pulled over by the police in the first place. Justice will be something, something we are very, very far away from. So when I look around me, when I see what's happening to Black people globally, especially in America,
She said globally, but especially in Babylon.
Germany, in France, in predominantly white societies or countries, then I find it like a slap in the face to talk about justice. Because how can we as white people create an entire system on the back of Black people and people of color, and then a few years later, because 600 years in the history of humanity is literally just a few years, that's like.
And this is why I said her spirit bears witness, because you got Jakes that still want to forgive and forget and try to act as if the things that happened to us in the past are not directly affecting us in the way we're living today. And she's saying that it does, and it still does. All right, and I agree with her wholeheartedly. All right, this is real quick. I'm just going to grab Zechariah 11:5, and it reads, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not."
Such a short such a short time frame, but still 600 years is still a very long time when it comes to human development and when it comes to accountability and acknowledging of our own mistakes. 600 years is not too long to acknowledge what we did, especially because we are still benefiting from that now.
You see that? She said they're still benefiting from it today. And that's something that the average Edomite will never say and never admit to that. They always come with that was a long time ago bullshit. I wasn't around and you weren't around. No, but you're still benefiting from it today. The economic system, the school system, the banking system, the justice system, the way that the job system, everything is set up in favor of the pale male and woman.
So sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, slavery has been long ago. Oh, that was long. It was before America was founded." Or white people are so quick to pull the "it's been long" card. Meanwhile, it's not that long ago. It's not like interracial marriages were literally illegal 70 years ago. So it's not that long ago. So when I'm looking at justice, I think justice will be a system that acknowledges its past and really, really wants to do better. Meaning, there are reforms, laws, there are steps being taken to really serving the people, Black people in particularly. So when I see, first of all, this murder was a year ago, pretty much a year ago. And there was a trial that took days for a jury to convict this mother of a crime the whole wide world witnessed. So if I will...
So that goes to show you the whole world witnessed the injustice and the hatred that these pale people have toward Jake. And you still got some of our, what was that Jake where the Edomite walked into his brother's apartment and shot him dead, and he got up on the stand and hugged her. That Edomite cop. And now another Edomite woman shot another man dead, so she thought she had her taser. No, the truth is coming to this world. Evil's gonna be put out, man. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 27, and it reads, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, and corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared." Call Halal Yahweh Shanab Shai Ba Shem Raklak Wadash Wa Ababa Ball.